Yeah, after the first playthrough, I don't know how many. Have we played Witcher 3 more times than Witcher 1 now? Just think, I thought I had 10 playthroughs we'd done on Witcher 1. And this is my 11th playthrough of Witcher 3. We might have actually done more playthroughs of Witcher 3 now. I don't know how many hours I have in Witcher 1 because I originally had it on disc. So, I was playing it just booting up a disc originally, so my earlier playthroughs, we don't have a way to look up how many hours. And of all the Witcher games, I've never done a Triss playthrough. Never sided with Triss in Witcher 1. Never sided with Triss in Witcher 2. Never sided with Triss in Witcher 3. So we have yet to get a Triss ending for any of the... I can't stand Triss, if you didn't know that. I hate her. I can't stand adult Triss. So, we keep planning to do a Triss playthrough where we get the Triss ending of all 3 games. Every time we replay a game, but we should do the Triss ending this time because we don't have it, and we would, like to have every quest. Just have completionists, have done every quest. And then we get to the Triss quests, and I'm like, I can't stand this psycho bitch. And then we go with whoever's the opposite of Triss, depending on what the game is. We go with Shani in Witcher 1, we go with Vess in Witcher 2, and we go with Yennefer in Witcher 3, or, now we just change Yennefer into Ciri and go, that's what we could do. That would do it. Change Triss into Ciri. Change Triss into Ciri, and we could do the Triss ending on the third Avallac'h playthrough, because there is going to be a third Avallac'h playthrough. We already have a specific end goal for this playthrough, so we couldn't do it with this playthrough because we want to get the Dead Ciri ending. We've already had the Dead Ciri ending before. We want the Dead Ciri ending this time because there is an Easter egg connected to the Dead Ciri ending. This playthrough, we are trying to get every single Easter egg and rare quest. So, all the very, very rare endings for the quests. All the Easter eggs. And there is an Easter egg connected to the Dead Ciri ending where
the elder blood can be found.
The Dead Ciri ending is called "Is Ciri Dead?" ? Because you don't know. When it does the whole cutscene load screen thing where Dandelion's talking, in that ending, it tells you that Ciri and her mentor Avallac'h both disappeared that day, and no one ever saw either of them again. It doesn't tell you that she died. That is actually the lore-friendliest ending, because that's what happened in the novels. That is exactly what happened in the novels. Ciri and Avallac'h both disappeared. And no one found them because he turned himself into a human and she turned into a dryad. She became the Lady of the Lake, he became the Fisher King, and nobody recognized him. So the Dead Ciri ending is the lore-friendly ending that matches the novels. but it has an Easter egg. Somebody asked me earlier in this playthrough, when we were maybe a month into this playthrough. We're over a year into this playthrough now. We were about a month into this playthrough. Somebody asked me, have you ever found Ciri in Kaer Morhen with the dead Ciri ending? I was like, I never heard of that. They said they had heard of it, but they couldn't find any reference to it, and they were trying to find out, was this actually a thing? And I didn't know. So I started looking up, and I could find the same stuff that they were finding. I found 3 different people who claimed they had gotten this, where after you do the whole thing where it goes off to Crookback Bog and all that stuff, and then the game ends, credits go by, and boom, you're back in Kaer Morhen, and it does the whole now you can do New Game Plus. At that point, stop the game, close the game, save the game, reload the game, and explore Kaer Morhen. Ciri is supposed to be there. When you reload the game, that's when that load screen comes up. The load screen comes up and it tells you that message that Ciri and Avallac'h both disappeared and they couldn't be found. At that point, somebody had gone, rather than restarting the game, which is what most people do, they just went around and started looting Kaer Morhen, and they claimed they found a hidden room and Ciri was in it waiting for them. It's the dead Ciri Easter egg where you find out she didn't die. And I found 3 different people who have claimed to have gotten it, but we can't find any video evidence or any type of screenshots of it. And so that's what this person was asking me. They wanted to know, had you heard of this? Have you ever seen this? Have you ever gotten it? Because I do make it a goal to find all the rarest stuff in this game. That is a thing I've been doing right along, which is why they asked me, have you found this one? I had never heard of it. In the process of modding the game and looking through the code, I found the code for it's in the epilogue folder. The epilogue script folder is Ciri Dead WS file. If you go into that file, there's a code in there. There is a section of code. It very specifically says Ciri Kaer Morhen Easter egg. That's the name of this code. And in it, it has a spawn point that says Hidden Room Kaer Morhen. So we went, you saw us do it earlier in this playthrough. We went, we don't have Kaer Morhen map unlocked yet. We spawned into the Kaer Morhen map so we could go, because that was the week we found that code. I was like, this is actually a thing. We found the code for it. This actually is a thing. Can we find, where is this spawn point? In Witcher 1, during the tutorial, when Triss is dying and you have to go make that potion, it's like one of the very first quests you do, right at the start of the game, because it's the quest that teaches you how to use the alchemy thing. So you have this whole, Triss is dying, I gotta teach you how to make alchemy so you can save her life with this potion. So that tutorial quest right at the beginning, where you're making Triss's potion. During that quest, Triss disappears. Then you have to go look for her, and they tell you she's in the hidden room. There is a room in Witcher 1 called the Hidden Room. I had never seen that room in Witcher 3. So we spawned ourselves into Kaer Morhen so we could go look. Is this room in Witcher 3? Because that appears to be the room where you can find Ciri if you get the dead Ciri ending. We were originally, when we started this playthrough, we were planning to get the Empress ending. We had a specific goal for that, which we then changed because we want to get this Easter egg. Are those? No? Those harpies? No, those are seagulls or something. Just spawned in. Okay. Anyways. We ended up... We went up to the tower. The bed is there. It hasn't yet been thrown out the window. It's not laying on the ground smashed up. That's a thing we found out while we were there, because Ugly Baby Quest hasn't been done yet, so... Jennifer hasn't thrown the bed out the window yet. Which... There's never a point where you go to Kaer Morhen before that quest. What is the point of not... That's Avallac'h. What is the point of not Yeah, that's Avallac'h. That's what the bestiary tells you Avallac'h can do. The bestiary tells you Avallac'h throws fireballs. No, he doesn't. He opens his mouth and he glows. It annoyed me. Now he throws fireballs in my game. I made a mod to make him throw fireballs. I took Avallac'h's fireball meteor attack in the final boss battle and put it in Avallac'h. So Avallac'h now shoots fireballs at us like the bestiary tells us he does. See?
Ciri, this place is no longer safe.
We're slowly taking every monster... Ow. We're slowly taking every monster... Avallac'h has a barrier mod that I made for him because he did that in the novels. So that's why he's still alive right now. We so rarely see Avallac'h. I'm fascinated by the fact that I actually got this mod to work the first time. Usually, every time I make a mod, we'll test it out and it'll be like, oh no, that didn't work. Then what did I do wrong? And test it out again, and nope, still didn't work. And it'll be 3 or 4 times at least of testing it out before we get to work. This one, it worked immediately. It's one of the few mods that I've made where it actually did what I wanted it to do on the first try. You're hurt. Also, his tail, it tells you in the bestiary if he hits you with his tail, he's gonna poison you. He doesn't do that either. He does now in my game.
That is what lighthouses do.
Okay. Yeah, see, Avallac'h has a barrier over him, so that's what Avallac'h just flew into it and died. Avallac'h had a barrier like that in the novels. It just stayed around him and Ciri and nothing could touch them. That's part of the reason why Ciri stayed really close to Avallac'h, because she wanted to stay inside of that barrier when she realized it actually was protected her. The time it went down. She didn't believe the barrier was protecting her, because she didn't believe there was stuff there that needed protecting from until the barrier went down. Avallac'h loot we need to watch out for, because Avallac'h drops a truck ahead. Avallac'h killed most of our rabbits. Let's have Avallac'h.
And there were no horses. Everyone had their own flying ship instead.
Avallac'h, here you are. We start spawning Avallac'h in because I don't like how his quest ended.
It's just... what if I disappear again tonight?
Sooner or later, we're gonna make a mod so that we can ride on Avallac'h.
Vagabond.
Which reminds me, we haven't used our frog in such a long time. Frog. There we go. Right on the frog.
Friends we show heart, foes.
You don't have any merchants in this town, right? No, this town's the one without merchants. There we go.
Well, my dad's off fighting the blood.
Where's the town with the merchants? That's what we was on our way to.
Damn it.
This Wild Hunt.
It's an old love letter. Ancient.
We turned our horse into a frog. Actually, that's a toad. I keep calling it a frog. Ah, where you guys at? You're stuck on a roof? On a roof.
I ask as a courtesy.
Yes, we
A
have to come
concept
up
you
on a
clearly
roof and get
forgot
you.
when you left without uttering a word.
Why is our dog on the roof? How did our dog get up on the roof? How did the dog get up here? There must be a way you could just walk up, right? That's what I was saying. Boy, we got sidetracked. The room in Kaer Morhen, when we went to Kaer Morhen, we went and found... We went up the tower, and we couldn't find the right place. And then we went to where Leo in Witcher 1, not Leo from the novels, two different Leos, there are two different characters named Leo. Leo from the game, Witcher 1. We went, and we couldn't get down there, that room was locked. And we went to the other tower, and that one was locked. We can make it into two towers. And then we went all over Kaer Morhen, and we found a door that you never go in with the quests. There is never a point where any quest in the game has you go through this door. It's where, during the Ugly Baby quest, when Vesemir is talking to Uma, and you have to do that thing with the Dimeridian for Yennefer. And right there, right behind that box where Uma sits, and that box is there. there's a door. And I never noticed it. It's not a door you ever use for any quests or anything.
And if my breast needed smearing with salt.
So we went in that door, and it goes up to the other tower, but the stairs are collapsed, just like in Witcher 1, the stairs are collapsed. There's a place right where the stairs are collapsed. There's a door. That goes to the hidden room. So we found the hidden room in Witcher 3. It is in Witcher 3 just like it was in Witcher 1. However, it's locked. You couldn't get in it. But that is supposedly where Ciri is supposed to spawn in if you have the dead Ciri ending. You can find her thereafter. The thing is, when I was looking at the code looks like it's deactivated. So I don't know if you can get it. The code's there, we did find the code, but it doesn't look like it'll trigger. I can't tell. So we're going to have to get the ending. Make a save point before the ending. Get the ending.
Fine, but don't dawdle excessively.
See if that triggers. And if it doesn't trigger, we're going to have to go in and reactivate the code. Because I can't tell if the code is active or not. There's a lot of codes that are in the game that are deactivated, so they don't trigger, even though they're there. Like, Avallac'h is a trophy monster. You can cut his head off and hang his head on your horse. We're probably going to activate that because I figured out how to. All of the code for it is there. All the code for it is there, including the voice actors having done the acting out for it. At the tower with Ciri at the end of the game, you should have had 3 choices. When Avallac'h throws his sword down, there should have been the option to just outright kill him. We found all the stuff for it, so we can activate it. We put the dialogue for Carol from that scene in Gil's. So every once in a while we hear Gil's, with Geralt's voice, saying that line.
This does concern me. These are my friends.
That's a stash box. You know, everywhere we find these stash boxes, we should figure out how to activate them as stash boxes instead of loot boxes. Avallac'h came in the building with us. He doesn't fit in the building. I don't like that there's no option to mercy Avallac'h.
Was it hard? Killing that vermin?
Why? Because there's a fast travel there, right? Alright.
You can come out now.
Hey, here's somebody fighting with something somewhere. It's like there's another monster here somewhere.
And this for the Yard's crew. The black one's being slant eyes right here.
For example, one such passage will open soon near where we are, fortuitously as well. Between this noble edifice and the butcher's yard.
We haven't changed the color of the lights.
Grab those swords. But I prefer
So it must be the reshade that's causing them to not be blue when we changed the colors of them? That's interesting. What in this reshade is causing that? We don't have our nice blue lights anymore. We've got bright white lights now.
But I won't allow it. Far too great a risk.
Yard's crew. Max, they brought the can.
best blade's not worth shite if a weak arm's swinging it, eh?
True. That's why I don't think Avallac'h could pick up an axe.
You shall see the truth. You will dream it.
We can't call our frog like we can our horse. If we call one, the horse will come, not the frog. There's a way to make it so we can call
Can
the
you toss
frog.
an axe? Me brother
Well,
can.
my dad's off fighting the black ones.
I don't know.
Jeepers. You're a wraith from Morhog?
Yes, the Wraith of Morhen. Avallac'h's back. Where'd we leave our frog? We left a frog up here somewhere, right? We have to walk all the way back to wherever it was we left our frog. Providing the frog also didn't run away, which it often does. We often have to... We're quick at camera zooming right in on you right now. The frog often runs away, and then we have to look for it. What's all this dead stuff? We can use Avallac'h like a flashlight. His mouth is open up and glowing like a flashlight. Avallac'h is the one with the broken wing. So, the one that doesn't fly is Avallac'h. Whoops. What's this? Wait, what did we just... What did we do? That looked like wolf loot. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at Avallac'h's flashlight mouth. Beast fangs, monster tongue. Now that's not right. Oh.